Dear ones, I am Archangel Michael. Continuing to talk about the exploration of Gaia. So as I said, in the previous video, there were crystals and minerals here, very interesting for the beings that arrived here. And given the size of the planet, the scale of what was here, they planned, well, we're staying here, because it's interesting for us to stay here, to build a large base on this planet, and to have materials for our ships, for our weapons. And so everything happened. As it is said, a lot of advanced technology is involved in these processes. Many things remain hidden, due to the holograms that are created so that you cannot see them. No, it's not that the machines are in another dimension and you don't see it, because they have this property, you don't see them because everything is masked, everything is very well hidden, through holograms. Realize this, all these drillings are not done in places that you can easily fly over. The vast majority are carried out in places that have very little or no access, so that they are not disturbed. Many times, you reach places you shouldn't reach, this in their minds. You start to climb certain mountains, bringing a certain, not danger, because you do not pose a danger to them, but bringing a certain threat due to the imbalance that you could cause in that hologram. What is a hologram? It is a reflected image that shows an environment, or something, but if you penetrate through it, you will see that there is really nothing there, that it is pure illusion. So lots of accidents, lots of them, many avalanches, many landslides, out of nowhere, are caused exactly in this way, so that you do not have access where you should not go, making you practically give up accessing such places. It's my brothers, there are many things on your planet that you don't know. There are a lot of things you don't know. In the previous video, I briefly talked about the ends of your planet, which due to the light arriving with little intensity, it is actually not the light, it is the heat of the light arriving with little intensity, they have a large ice cap, which you call polar caps. I can also say that there is a lot to be discovered there is a lot to be discovered. It's a great advantage, this particularity of your planet at that point, because many military bases were built there, exactly because of the great difficulty that you, with this human outfit, have in staying there, or to go there. These are extreme situations, in which their bodies find it very difficult to remain there, to share with that environment. So there is a lot hidden there are a lot of abandoned things there. And then you realize that, as I said yesterday, that the temperature of your planet is increasing. Yes, I will not deny that much has been provoked by you, by the very heat that you cause in the planet's atmosphere. But understand this, all the light that is coming from the photon belt is revealing light, it is a light that brings truth, it is a light that removes everything that is hidden, even if it is in the deepest position. So, a good part of its glaciers are melting. Yes, so that a lot of truth comes to light. Everything is part of this process. Much will be discovered there. All governments that own that space know this. This was discovered a long time ago. I assure you that all governments, in all countries on this planet, are aware of our existence, of the existence of beings of very high energy, and of beings of light that represent us there on the planet. Because yes, we have beings of the highest light incarnated at this moment, who are our representatives with the leaders of this planet. So no one is mistaken. And there is no way to say that its leaders don't believe it, because proof has been shown to everyone so that there is no doubt. So everyone knows about the existence of extraterrestrial beings and this whole process that is happening. No one was deceived. Everybody knows. However, for the governments of all countries on this planet to take some action, I can even say that it is an event that will never happen, because they always think we are bluffing, that we have been here for so long, and nothing has ever happened, why would it happen now? They continue to think that we are threatening just to threaten. Not that we are threatening as you understand, which is a threat. Our threat is that they take a stand to make their people free from suffering, so that there is equality throughout the country, in all countries, so that there is no hunger, there is no suffering. There is a deadline that has already been given to all leaders, and they simply ignore what we are saying. The answers are always the same: we can't do that. If you want to help the people, create the mechanisms to do so. This is the response we receive from the vast majority of leaders. Since you want to help, create the situations yourself, give us money so we can do this. It would really be very interesting, if we gave a lot of money to each leader and they really cared about the people, because if this were true, we would have done this a long time ago. Because not every country on your planet has financial problems, and those who don't? Why are there people who still go hungry? Why are there people who are still out of work? Why are there people who don't have the same conditions as everyone else? They live almost in extreme poverty. If the country is so rich. So this is a big lie on their part and we know it, so we never did anything about it. So the big process now will be the opposite. We are going to overthrow everyone's wealth, and then they will realize who is right, who is telling the truth, and that it wasn't just a warning. Everyone knows what's about to happen. Everyone knows and no one believes. Everyone thinks it's just a story on our part, because if we've never done anything, we won't do it now. So my brothers, returning to our subject. The exploration of Gaia continues for as long as you have known the planet has existed. And you might think, but isn't it? Gaia's reserves are inexhaustible. No, they are not inexhaustible. Only Gaia is very large, and due to the structure of the planet, some minerals are formed again over time. Today, you have a black ore that comes out of the bottom of your oceans, which practically moves your planet, oil. Oil is nothing more than waste, from the entire transformation of Gaia, which is being formed, because every process always leaves a residue. So it's as if it were garbage produced by Gaia. Through the mining that has already been done, this liquid was discovered. And today it is present all over the planet. I tell you that this great reserve is ending. You have already consumed practically all the oil that Gaia has. You are already trying to find new alternatives. Very good. Because many people know that this is coming to an end, and that it is high time to use nature to create new sources of fuel. So my brothers, everything that happens on your planet, at this exact moment, was promoted by these beings. I remind you again, and let this never be forgotten, evil never triumphed here. Yes, they created a large barrier around your planet, so that they could keep you in this situation for a long time, supposedly not allowing us to reach you. Because it was a large energy network that prevented energy from reaching the planet. But it is not the energies of light beings, the energies of the universe itself. But this all also coincided with this long period when you were outside the photon belt. So they knew that they would be the owners and powerful of the planet for a long time, And they also knew that this day, which is what is happening now, that this period would come. So what's the big idea they had? Well, we have explored this planet for eons, for a long time. We got what we needed from here. We kept the planet in the third dimension and we can say with quite barbaric feelings. We achieved our goal. Then wars begin to be fomented, wars across the planet. You had the First World War, where many succumbed, for what? For nothing, in exchange for power. But this was already the plan of these beings, that there would be more and more incompatibility between the countries of this planet. There was always that feeling of power, of wanting to invade the other, of wanting to be more than the other. So great leaders were strategically placed as heads of countries. Their leaders, they incarnate, totally resonant with their energy. Then came the First World War and what started to happen? Nuclear energy is not an energy of this magnitude. It is a wisdom that comes from outside, that comes from high dimensions, because the substances used in nuclear bombs are extremely powerful and generate a lot of energy, but not the energy of evil. They are used to generate natural energy, without harm to the planet. But they realized they could use the same energy to destroy. They created great powers, one on each side of the planet, and they fomented more and more wars, the behind-the-scenes wars, military wars, where the people had nothing to do with it. It was all promoted among the leaders. And then comes the Second World War. Bombs were dropped. Man experienced the power of nuclear weapons for the first time, and this was the trigger for a good number of the leaders of his planet to believe they had the right to have identical weapons, always with that old saying, "I have to protect myself." Yet, let's say we believe that. And the bombs were spreading across his planet. You have no idea how many nuclear weapons are spread across your planet. When the Second World War happened, a red light went off in the universe. Other planets felt the imbalance that was happening here, and everyone was on alert. From then on, a whole process began, of observation and caution, in relation to this planet. The universe is immense, the universe is infinite, but the explosion of a large planet like this would cause an immense imbalance in the universe. It wouldn't just be this planet that would be hit. Everyone within its galaxy would receive the explosion waves, and the imbalance would be immense. How many people would be destroyed just because of the explosion of a single planet? So we started organizing to keep this planet whole, because their big idea was to destroy planet Earth. Because they got what they wanted, the leaders themselves were destroying themselves. So they didn't need to do anything else, the process had been started. The idea was that there would be a third and final world war, where all countries would launch their nuclear bombs, destroying the planet, because Gaia could not withstand so much aggression. Because the bombs are installed in very strategic positions inside the planet. So it would be like a domino, as you know it, in which when one was thrown, all the others would explode and Gaia would go up in the air. So from there, a whole process began. We began to observe, and little by little, we began to destroy all the nuclear weapons you have. Today many governments think so, puff up their chests and say they have lots of weapons to defend themselves. I tell you that they don't have any, because they are all destroyed. They don't believe it. They think they can still continue using it. And you've already had evidence of weapons that have already been launched and destroyed out of nowhere in space. Coincidence? Chance? No, neither one thing nor the other. And every weapon that is fired will be eliminated immediately. So my brothers, a new world was beginning, a new era was beginning from then on. A new moment began on your planet, a time of great caution, a moment of much observation, to see how far they would go, with their weapons. So, next week, I'll start the story of how this whole process began. How everything was organized. How everything was planned, so that we can reach this stage, that we are here now. And you will understand a lot of things. No, I'm not finishing the story yet. I will still go back to many stories. I will still go back in time many times. Do not worry. I just want to explain to you how it all started, the reason for what is happening now. I am Archangel Michael. And I'm here, ready to try to explain to each of you, the truth of what really happened, and is happening.